From the very first second the scene appears on screen, it wraps viewers in a breathtaking wave of emotion that refuses to let go. If you are reading this right now, you need to stay until the end, because what happens between Shen Yue and Miles Wei in this moment will change the way you see on-screen chemistry forever. This is your sign to watch closely and experience the spark that made millions hit replay. Do not scroll away. Join the moment that everyone is talking about. The scene opens with a silence so powerful it feels alive. Shen Yue walks into the room with a kind of quiet softness that makes every step feel intentional. Her character carries a mixture of courage and hesitation. Miles Wei stands by the window with the light resting against his shoulder, giving him an almost unreal glow. The air between them feels charged, like something long hidden is ready to surface. Shen Yue tries to speak first, yet her voice falters, and this tiny moment captures hearts instantly. It is the way her eyes soften when she looks at Miles Wei that sends viewers into a frenzy. He does not say a word. Instead, he turns just enough for his eyes to meet hers, and the atmosphere shifts with a depth that feels impossible to ignore. It is almost as if the world around them disappears, and only the two of them remain. Then comes the scene that truly breaks the internet. Shen Yue walks toward him in slow steps, each one more deliberate than the last. Her character has spent so long pretending she is fine, yet in this instant all her walls drop. Her voice becomes steady and warm as she tells him that she is tired of running from feelings she never meant to have. Her words flow with sincerity, and her expression turns tender in a way only Shen Yue can deliver. Miles Wei listens with a stillness that feels intimate. His character has been carrying unspoken emotions, and now those emotions are written all over his face. His eyes soften, his breath steadies, and he takes a single step closer to her. Viewers across the world say this exact step made their hearts skip. It is simple, yet powerful. It is the kind of moment that stays with you long after the screen goes dark. When Shen Yue finally confesses the truth, the world seems to pause. Her voice is calm, but her emotions ripple through every line she speaks. She tells him that every moment she tried to forget him only pulled her deeper. She admits that she did not expect him to become the one person who made her feel seen. This part of the scene triggers a storm of feelings in viewers because it is delivered with such raw honesty. Miles Wei responds not with big dramatic dialogue, but with subtle emotion. He looks at her with a tenderness that feels overwhelming. It is the kind of look that says everything without a single word spoken. It is a look that makes millions of fans comment that they could feel the chemistry through the screen. This is the moment that turned casual viewers into devoted fans. The closeness between them becomes magnetic. Their breathing sinks, their eyes lock, and the tension rises until it is almost unbearable. Every detail is perfectly placed, from the way Miles Wei slightly tilts his head to the way Shen Yue lifts her chin with newfound courage. This is the kind of emotional build-up that K-drama fans crave. It is elegant, slow-burning, and deeply satisfying. When he finally reaches out to touch her hand, the entire scene explodes with emotion. The touch is gentle, but the meaning behind it shakes the moment into something unforgettable. It is the kind of touch that says, "Stay with me," without needing to say it out loud. Fans replay this part endlessly because there is something mesmerizing in the way their hands connect. They stand there together, holding a silence that says more than 100 lines of dialogue. Shen Yue lets out a soft breath, and Miles Wei answers it with a quiet warmth. This silent connection becomes the heart of the entire scene. It is pure, intimate, and breathtaking. By the time the scene ends, viewers feel as if they have witnessed something rare. The chemistry between Shen Yue and Miles Wei does not feel performed. It feels natural, real, and deeply anchored in emotion. This is why millions shared the clip. This is why the scene took over social media. This is why fans cannot stop talking about it. The scene continues with a quiet tension that wraps itself around the room like a warm whisper. After their hands finally meet, the world seems to breathe differently. Viewers can feel the shift, the soft rise of emotion, the silent recognition that something real has just begun between them. Shen Yue looks down at their hands as if she cannot believe the courage she just found. Her eyes lift slowly, and when they meet his again, there is a new softness in them. It is the look of someone who has finally allowed her heart to speak after hiding for far too long. The camera lingers on her expression, capturing every flicker of emotion as if the moment itself refuses to fade. Miles Wei steps closer, only an inch, but the closeness sends a wave of intensity across the room. His character has always been calm and controlled, yet now his guard melts little by little. He studies her face with a quiet admiration that feels honest and deep. It is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is real. And that is what makes the moment so powerful. ShenYue tries to say something, but her voice breaks softly. She has confessed everything, yet now she is unsure how he feels. The uncertainty trembles in her smile. She looks away for a moment, gathering strength, but Miles Wei gently tilts his head to catch her gaze again. He does not want her to hide. He wants her to know he heard every word. Then he speaks. His voice is low, steady, and warm. He tells her that he's been waiting for this moment longer than she can imagine. He says that every time she walked away, he felt something inside him reach out even when he tried to ignore it. His confession is simple, but the honesty in his tone hits with surprising force. Fans say this is the moment they felt their hearts jump. ShenYue stands still, stunned by the sincerity in his eyes. She expected rejection or confusion. Not this gentle, undeniable truth. Her breath catches, and the silence between them fills with a new kind of emotion, one that feels both overwhelming and peaceful. The tension that once felt heavy now feels warm, like a promise waiting to be held. Miles Wei lifts his hand slowly and brushes a strand of hair away from her face. The touch is delicate, almost hesitant, as if he is afraid the moment might vanish if he moves too quickly. This gentle gesture drives fans wild because it is intimate without being forced. It is the kind of tenderness that stays in your memory long after the scene ends. ShenYue closes her eyes for a brief moment, letting the warmth of his touch sink in. When she opens them again, there is no fear left, only clarity. She steps closer until there is barely space between them. Her voice is soft yet steady as she tells him that she did not plan to fall for him, but she cannot deny it anymore. She smiles through the trembling emotion, and this smile feels like a quiet victory. The camera draws in slowly, capturing the nearness of their faces, the way their breaths align, the slight curve of soft emotion across their expressions. Nothing dramatic happens. No sudden movement or loud declaration. Instead, there is a stillness filled with everything they have never dared to say. This stillness becomes one of the most memorable parts of the entire scene. Miles Wei looks at her as if he finally understands everything he has been trying to avoid. His eyes soften even more, and he whispers that he does not want her to walk away this time. His words fall gently, yet they carry enormous weight. ShenYue takes a deep breath as her heart finally settles into the moment she has been running from. He holds her hand firmly this time, not with uncertainty, but with certainty. His expression shifts from gentle to determined, showing that he is done hiding his feelings. ShenYue feels the change instantly. Her eyes widen slightly before melting into a shy, emotional smile that sends viewers straight into disbelief at how natural their chemistry feels. The final moment of part 2 arrives quietly. They stand together in the soft, warm light, their hands locked, their hearts finally in sync. ShenYue leans her forehead lightly against his, and Miles Wei closes his eyes as if sealing the moment into memory. It is tender. It is breathtaking. It is the kind of scene that fans watch again and again because it feels pure and deeply human. As the camera pulls back, the world around them returns slowly, but their connection remains unbroken. Their story is only beginning, yet this moment will stay as one of the most iconic scenes they have ever shared.